Real estate sales in Canada have been in something of a slump, but we just saw the first turn up in about 6 months, led by the Greater Toronto Area, Calgary and Ottawa. Let's get more from Shaun Cathcart, senior economist at the Canadian Real Estate Association. Shaun, thanks very much. Talk to us about this latest month of numbers, and we did see something of a recovery.
Yeah, one car doesn't make a parade, right? And 1 month of data doesn't always make a trend, but it's better than nothing. We've obviously seen, the daily data that we can see, and I've communicated, I believe, on this program before, we saw it turn a corner on January 20th when the first blanket tariffs were announced, and people went fleeing back to the sidelines, and we wondered how long that would last. Well, it looks like the answer is that sales stopped falling in April, and May saw the first increase. It was 3.6% at the national level, which is not blow the doors off COVID level, but it's not nothing.
And that's interesting. Is that a measure of consumer confidence that people are willing to go out and buy homes?
Right. Well, polling of consumer confidence does show that sort of initial shock that I think we all felt, maybe feels like 2 years ago, it was only 2 months ago, around Liberation Day.
Yes.
Is sort of starting to fade a little bit. In the end, the tariffs are not nearly as bad as what was first announced. Although if you're in steel, aluminum, energy, forestry, the auto sector, that might be different regionally. But that sort of Armageddon type economic thing where 1 million people are going to lose their jobs. That's not happening. We're hearing talks about trade deals. We got a new federal government that's sort of in its honeymoon phase that sounds like it's going to do some stuff that's going to be helpful. We got a national kumbaya thing with the provinces going on. So I think that a lot of that initial shock is turning, in terms of consumer confidence, is sort of it is improving, although I wouldn't say it's good.
We have a chart showing the average price across Canada, and I know it varies. It's almost a meaningless number because it's so regional, the market, but prices still down a little over the past year.
Yeah, we're still down a little. If you look at the month-to-month movements, prices tend to follow changes in demand and supply with about a 1 month lag. So true to form, prices stopped falling at the national level in May. That was mostly the result of a bit of a turnaround in Ontario. So the market, the province that's been the coolest the last 3 years does have the most room to bounce back at some point. And I think we did see some of that depending on where you are in the province. BC prices still falling, flat in Calgary. But if you're anywhere else in the prairies, Quebec or the East Coast, those prices have been climbing for the last 3 years, and that continues. It just sort of tends to get overshadowed by Ontario and BC.
That's interesting. So, but prices have been falling in BC as a whole?
Yes, not as steeply as in Ontario.
Okay.
Vancouver's a bit of an idiosyncratic market that way, in that you'd think the most expensive market would have gotten hammered the hardest with an inflation crisis. But Vancouver is so expensive that a lot of those homes aren't bought with mortgages in the first place. It's wealth. So it's really Toronto that actually got hit the hardest in the last 3 years.
It's interesting. Yeah, we've heard a lot about Ontario's economy struggling. The unemployment rate almost 8% in this province, which decades ago used to be the economic engine of the country.
Yeah, exactly. I think insofar as it affects the housing market, at least for right now, I think that one of the bigger factors is going to be the pent-up demand, that sort of coiled spring, that potential energy from all of the population growth and all of the people who haven't been able to buy when your mortgage rate would have been 6-something%, now are getting rates in the high threes. We always thought it was going to be a slam dunk forecast for a rebound this year. It looks like maybe that was just pushed off by a few months by all the tariff chaos and uncertainty. But that at some point things have got to, people are going to get back on with their lives. And it looks like we're starting to see the bottom forming on this market in the last couple of months.